Today we talk about Master the Enchiridion Stoic rules for life.
All right, today we're cracking open a book that's about 2,000 years old, but believe me, it's not some dusty old classic. This is the Enchiridion by Epictetus, and it's basically an operating manual for the human mind, a handbook, if you will. So let me ask you something. Do you ever feel just overwhelmed by things you can't control? You know, the constant barrage of news, the pressure from social media, all the little frustrations that just pile up and leave you feeling stressed out? Yeah, you're definitely not alone. And the cool thing is, Epictetus had a solution for this 2 millennia ago. So here's the game plan. We're going to break his whole philosophy down into 5 simple, actionable steps. This is your roadmap to getting some of that peace of mind back. We'll cover the one thing you absolutely have to know, how to master your inner world, see reality for what it is, engage with the world, and finally, how to actually put all this into practice. Let's get started with the big one. Okay, section 1, the one thing to know. And honestly, this is the single most important rule for a tranquil life. This is the foundation of everything in Stoicism. If you get this one thing, everything else just clicks into place. All right, so here it is, the core idea. Epictetus says the world is split in 2 buckets. On one side, you've got the things that are completely in your power. What's in there? Your opinions, your aims, your desires, basically your own thoughts and actions. That's it. And then, in the other bucket, you've got everything else, the stuff that's not in your power. And that's, well, almost everything. Your body, your property, your reputation, your job. Epictetus argues that pretty much all of our misery comes from one simple mistake, confusing what's in our bucket with what's not. And listen to the payoff he promises. He says, if you take for your own only that which is your own, then no one will ever compel you, no one will restrict you, you will not have an enemy, nor will you suffer any harm. Think about that. When you focus only on what's truly yours, your own mind, you become completely free. No one can make you angry or sad without your consent. You're basically untouchable. Okay, so we know what to focus on. But that brings up the next big question, right? How do we do it? How do we actually go about mastering our inner world, especially when it feels so chaotic sometimes? Well, that brings us to our next section. This right here is one of the most powerful ideas in all of philosophy. Men are disturbed not by things, but by the views which they take of things. Let that sink in. It's not the event itself that upsets you. It's not the traffic jam that makes you furious. It's your judgment about the traffic jam. The story you tell yourself, like, this is horrible, this shouldn't be happening. The event itself, it's neutral. The suffering, according to Epictetus, is something we do to ourselves. Okay, let's make this super practical. Imagine someone insults you or says something that just gets under your skin. What happens? Well, Epictetus tells us to first, just stop. Don't react. He says, be assured that it is your own opinion which provokes you. See, the insult itself is just words. It only has power if you agree with it on some level. If you decide, yes, that was insulting. In that tiny moment of decision, you're the one who's actually provoking yourself. It's not them, it's you. And he gives us this brilliant metaphor for it. He says everything in life has 2 handles. Imagine your brother does something to wrong you. You can grab it by the first handle, the injustice handle. That one's heavy, it's impossible to carry. It just leads to anger and resentment. Or you can grab it by the other handle, the relationship handle. He is my brother. He was brought up with me. That one you can bear. It's a choice. You always have a choice in how you frame things. This idea of choosing your perspective leads us perfectly into our third point, how to see reality. And this is all about stripping away all those layers of judgment and just seeing things as they actually are. Now, this next idea might sound a little bleak at first, but stick with me. Epictetus says if you're hugging your child or your wife, remind yourself that you're hugging a mortal being. If you love a favorite cup, remember it's just a cup. The point isn't to be morbid. It's a way to mentally prepare for the fact that nothing lasts forever. That way, when the cup inevitably breaks, you're not shattered because you always knew it was just a cup. It's a practice that builds incredible resilience, and paradoxically, it actually makes you appreciate what you have right now even more. And this all builds up to this incredible Stoic ideal. Epictetus says, demand not that events should happen as you wish, but wish them to happen as they do happen, and you will go on well. This is the famous idea of amor fati, or loving your fate. Instead of constantly fighting against reality, wishing things were different, you just accept it. You embrace it. Real peace, he says, doesn't come from bending the world to your will, but from bending your will to the world. So what about actual loss? Like, what happens when you lose something or someone important? Epictetus has this really radical way of looking at it. He says you should never say, I have lost it. Instead, you should say, I have restored it. Whether it's your child, your partner, your property, it's been returned to the universe that gave it to you. You see, you were never the owner, just a temporary caretaker. It's a huge mental shift from being a victim of fate to just being part of the natural flow of things. All right, so we've spent a lot of time on our inner world, right? Mastering our thoughts and judgments. But what about the outside world? How does a Stoic actually act? How do we engage with other people and society? Epictetus uses another amazing metaphor here. He says, remember that you are an actor in a drama. Think about it. Your life is like a play. Now, you didn't write the script, you didn't cast the other actors, and you didn't even choose your own part. All of that is outside your control. So what is your job? Your one and only job is to play the part you've been given as well as you possibly can. It doesn't matter if you're the hero or a background character, your business is to act your part with excellence. And check out this analogy he uses for handling desire. It's like you're at a banquet. If a dish is passed to you, sure, take a polite, moderate share. If it passes you by, don't reach out and grab it. If your favorite dish hasn't even come around yet, don't sit there drooling over it. Just wait patiently. It's such a simple but powerful guide. Be moderate, be patient, and don't desperately cling to things. Okay, this is a great little Stoic life hack for when someone speaks badly of you. Instead of jumping to defend yourself, Epictetus suggests you say something like this. Oh, he must not know about my other faults, otherwise he wouldn't have just mentioned these. It's brilliant, right? You completely disarm them with humor, and it shows that your self-worth isn't tied up in their opinion. You're already aware of your own flaws. All right, we've got all these amazing principles, we understand the theory, but knowing it is one thing. The final and honestly the most crucial part is actually living it. So how do we move from just learning these principles to actually putting them into practice every day? Well, Epictetus gives us a kind of report card for a practicing Stoic. What does one look like? Well, they don't censure anyone, they don't praise anyone, they don't blame anyone, they don't go around talking about how important they are. When something gets in their way, who do they blame? Themselves. They're careful, and most importantly, they watch their own mind like it's an enemy they're trying to ambush. It's a constant, active process. And this is where Epictetus gets really direct. It feels like he's speaking right to us 2,000 years later. He says, you are no longer a boy, but a grown man. If therefore you'll be negligent and slothful, you will insensibly continue to accomplish nothing. Basically, he's saying the time for excuses is over. Stop procrastinating. You have the tools now. The choice is yours. Be lazy and stay stuck, or start the work and earn a life of tranquility. He ends with this incredibly powerful image. Now is the combat. Now the Olympiad comes on. Life is the main event. The competition is happening right now. Every single moment is a chance to practice this, a chance to gain mastery over yourself. So his final question is a direct challenge to every single one of us. How long then will you delay?